And the former Cy Young winner is reportedly off the market, everybody. Matt Yaloff here with breaking news. Corbin Burnes reportedly agrees to a deal with Arizona, a multi-year deal, a 6-year contract worth over $200 million. There's a couple little opt-out issues there, or not issues, but little fine print. He can opt out after 2 years, which certainly is a benefit to Corbin Burnes, and maybe, who knows, maybe the team would like him to opt out. But let's get to the guy who broke this story. That is Jon Heyman, and you did it late last night on the East Coast and pretty late on the West. Talk to me. Talk to the people at home. How did this come together, and what does it mean?
Well, it certainly didn't come together in a few minutes. They've been working on it for a little while. It had kind of been secret. This is really the surprise of the offseason so far. We've been thinking all along the Giants and the Jays were the front runners for Corbin Burnes, who's obviously, if not the pitching prize of this winter, one of the 2 or 3. Max Fried also exceptional. As Sarah Lang said, since 2020, Burnes and Fried, coincidentally enough, have the 2 best ERAs. Burnes also most swing and misses along with Dylan Cease. So outstanding move for Arizona. A bit of a surprise, but they love that pitching. That's how they won that World Series in 2001 with Johnson and Schilling. And now obviously they have Gallen and they have Kelly. They have Erod and Montgomery if he comes back and does better. And a few others fought. So Arizona really has excellent pitching. And it's interesting. I know that Bob Nightingale reported that the Giants and Jays offered more. I do know there was at least a team that offered considerably more per year, and also there were teams that offered more in total. But this works out for Burnes. He lives in Phoenix, from California, won in spring training, at least in the Phoenix area, and he gets more than that. He gets to live in the Phoenix area year-round. So a great deal for Burnes and a great deal for the D-backs as well.
And you're looking there at the possible rotation options. And I should point out that last year, as a team, not just a rotation, John, but as a team, they had the 4th worst ERA in Major League Baseball. Now, let's take it to the next step here. In terms of the free agent pitching market, where are we? What's left? And who needs whom?
Well, you've got the good names right up there. That's very good. Obviously Sasaki is the big prize at this point, right? He's not a real free agent. He's not going to get that kind of free agent money, but he can choose where he wants to go. If he goes anywhere but the Dodgers and the Padres, it's probably going to be a big surprise to a lot of folks. Obviously, the Yankees, Mets, Cubs, Rangers, a lot of teams have been in there pitching, trying to get him, but they know it's a long shot, and people believe that he will probably go to the Dodgers or Padres. Of course, there are surprises, and Burnes did surprise us, but there are other good pitchers out there. A couple of Hall of Famers, as you saw, Scherzer, Verlander, also Kershaw, although we expect him to go back to the Dodgers. At this point, he probably can't go anywhere else. He's an all-time great. Then you've got Flaherty, you've got Pivetta, you've got Gibson, and you've got Quintana. So, the starting pitchers have been the stars of this market. They've gotten great deals to this point, but you still have at least a half dozen very, very viable or better ones to go.
Let's move from the mound to the batter's box. And Pete Alonso in particular seems to be a guy who, if you played musical chairs, right now does not have a chair. What's up?
Well, Alonso's hit more home runs than anybody in the National League since he came in the league in 2019. So, the power guys, for whatever reason, a couple guys are still out there. Santander, who I saw you had on that graphic, still out there. Teoscar just had the deal. But Alonso, as I reported a couple days ago, and of course things can change in a hurry, he and the Mets were in a bit of a gap at this point in terms of the negotiation. So no guarantee he's going back to the Mets. That certainly is an option at this point, a possibility. But look, the Giants and the Jays have been very active in this market. The Jays have just made that trade for Jimenez. The Giants side signed Adames, but they have not signed a ton of players, and they still have money to go. Certainly all the teams that went for Soto have money left. The Mariners are another team that needs offense, and, their most likely option probably would be to trade for somebody, Casas or somebody else like that. because it's difficult to get free agents to go there. Very tough park, particularly for right-handers. But I'd say those are the other teams that are most obvious at this point: Giants, Mariners, and Jays, along with the Mets. But there are surprises in free agency, as we saw with Corbin Burnes, so you never know.
Well, on to one of my favorites. Not that it matters who I like, but
It matters to me.
Well, thank you, and that means a lot to me. Alex Bregman, he's on the market as well, an accomplished hitter, also a fielder, and does a lot of things well. Why does he not yet have a team?
Well, obviously he hasn't had the right deal to this point. I'm with you. He's a favorite of mine as well. Terrific defender, excellent offensive player, big postseason resume, real leader. And the two most logical teams right now are two teams that have leaders who were with the Astros with Bregman, and they know him well. So that's a good sign for him. Obviously, he's not only a favorite of me and you, but of A.J. Hinch with the Tigers and Alex Cora with the Red Sox. I mean, Boston looks like a great fit with that ballpark. Perfect. It really looks like it to me. And he's willing to play second base. You know, if they think about him for third base, I think it's a bit of an issue at this point because they have Devers, their highest paid player, playing third base. They could move Devers to first base if they do end up trading Casas. Those are, I think, the two most logical teams at this point. Again, we've seen some surprises. Burnes, a big one. You never know. Jays, Mariners, again, teams that need to do something, need offense, have the money to spend, and I would say those are two other possibilities for Bregman.
Well, anybody who thinks that Jon Heyman doesn't work during the holiday week, you're incorrect. Jon Heyman breaking the story of the reported deal with Corbin Burnes going to Arizona. Jon, have a great holiday with the family.
Happy holidays to you too, Matt.
All right, thank you, Jon Heyman, and that's breaking news. Keep it here on MLB Network as we roll on into 2025.